Hello, Revivers and Thrivers. Welcome back to the Revive Then Thrive podcast. I'm your host, Hallelujah Adams, licensed marriage and family therapist and relational therapist, and someone who deeply believes that emotional awareness is a form of courage. Today's episode is one of the most important in our series because it touches the root system of our relational habits, the emotions that live beneath our reactions. This is episode 21, Fear, Shame, and the Hidden Emotional Triggers of Our Attachment Styles. In emotionally charged moments, especially in conflict, it's easy to focus on what was said or how it was said. But from an attachment perspective and through the lens of trauma-informed care, we ask a deeper question. What's the emotion driving this moment? And often, that emotion is fear or shame. These two are the quiet architects of many relationship struggles, especially for those of us with anxious or avoidant attachment strategies. Dr. Gabor Mate reminds us, the wound is not that we were hurt. The wound is what we came to believe about ourselves because we were hurt. That belief, I'm not enough, I'm too much, I'll be abandoned, I'll be engulfed, becomes our trigger. Let's break this down through an attachment and an EFT lens. For those of us that are anxiously attached, also known as the pursuer, the emotional logic here often sounds like, if I don't fight for closeness, I'll be left behind. My needs are too much. I have to work to be loved. Fear says you're about to be rejected. Shame says you're too needy. That's why they pull away. When the fear flares, it comes out as protest, a raised voice, a barrage of questions, a longing disguised as criticism. For those of us who are avoidantly attached, also known as the withdrawer, here the logic is, if I show too much, I'll be judged or overwhelmed. My emotions will make things worse. Fear says you'll be consumed or shamed. Shame says you're inadequate. You don't know how to do this right. The response, retreat, silence, numbness, and both loved ones are hurting. Both are protecting something incredibly tender. Doctors John and Julie Gottman speak often about emotional bids, the small ways we reach for connection. It might sound like, did you see that text I sent? Can you help me with this? Or even just a sigh from across the room. But when we're in fear or shame, we misread those bids. The pursuer might hear dismissal in silence. The withdrawer might hear accusation in a question. And the opportunity for connection is missed. Not because we don't care, but because our nervous systems are already bracing. So how do we begin to shift? To stop reacting and start responding? Let's dive in together. Relational Thriving's 1. Name the emotional injury, not just the reaction. Instead of focusing on what they did, ask, what story did this moment awaken in me? You might realize this silence reminded me of feeling invisible as a child. Or this criticism touched an old shame that I'm never enough. This moves us from reactivity to emotional honesty. Relational thrivings, 2. Slow down and drop into the body. Using somatic experiencing, pause and notice. Where is the trigger landing in my body? Is it a tight chest, a lump in the throat, a sinking in my belly? Put a hand there and breathe. Even silently saying, this is fear or this is shame. Create space between the trigger and the reaction. This is the space where connection begins. Relational thrivings, 3. Voice the tender emotion. EFT and the Gottman method encourages us to speak from the primary emotion, not the protective one. Instead of, why do you never listen to me? Try, I'm scared I don't matter to you when it goes quiet between us. That shift from blame to vulnerability is where trust is rebuilt. As Brene Brown says, shame cannot survive being spoken and met with empathy. That's true in our relationships too. Here's the truth. Your emotional triggers don't make you weak or unlovable. They are evidence of the places you've longed to be seen and safe. Healing isn't about becoming trigger-free. It's about learning to name your wound without acting from it. Fear and shame may still whisper, but they don't have to drive. When we learn to say, here's what hurts and here's what I need, we start turning patterns into possibility. And this is the work of secure attachment. In our next episode, we'll dive deeper into how to actually name and express what we're feeling in the moment. You'll learn how to build an emotional vocabulary with EFT, attachment, and Gottman tools, somatic cues to locate your felt sense, why fear or hurt creates more closeness than anger, and how to use emotional repair rituals when things go off track. Because it's one thing to understand our emotions and another to live them out with clarity and care. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this episode helped name something for you, I'd love for you to leave a review or share it with someone who's learning to feel safely too. And stay tuned for the companion meditation coming up soon. Remember, you are not your fear. You are not your shame. You are worthy of love, especially in your most triggered moments. Until we meet again, be gentle with yourself and keep reaching. I'm Hallelujah Adams, and this is the Revive Then Thrive podcast. Hugging your hearts, y'all. See you next time.